What is going on, YouTube? So in today's video I have some more upgraded parts I'm going to be installing on my 2011 BMW 335D. So I have them here in this box. I'm going to go ahead and pull them out and show you guys what I'm working with here. So unboxed and unbagged, I have these Bevinsee adjustable rear sway bar end links. As you can see, these are anodized red. It looks really good, honestly. These are made out of 6061 billet aluminum, and they have these really nice spherical bushings right here. And they have some more bushings here that I'll show you how these install for the factory hardware to go through. So you just put these in that spherical joint just like so, and then you can run your factory bolt through it. But anyways, I'm going to take my factory ones off and use them as my template to adjust the length on these. So if you lower your car, you use these style adjustable end links to help reset the suspension geometry on your car. And you can actually do corner balancing with these too, which I'm not going to do at all. I'm just going to go with the factory length. But I'm putting these on because these are much better quality than OEM, and they look really good. So my 335D is deleted, so from behind the car you can see the suspension components now without the mufflers. So seeing these really nice red adjustable sway bar end links is going to finish off the look of the rear end of the car. So let's go ahead and jack the car up and slap these things on. So in my last video with this car, I showed you guys how to install upgraded jack pads on your car, and I'm actually getting ready to put those to use right now. So let's get down here and line up this jack. These jack pads were also supplied to me by Bevinsee as well. As you can see, aluminum, they're extended, much easier to get a jack situated. So let's go ahead and get this jack on the pad, and let's raise up this rear end. Okay, and with that wheel off, we can get better access to the factory sway bar end link. As you can see right there, it runs down right there. So try to get an overhead view for you guys. You can see right there. So I'm gonna figure out what sizes these are, and we'll start removing this end link. So up top, I'm using a thin pair of vice grips to hold the back side of this bolt down so it doesn't freely spin with the nut. The nut is a 16mm, so I'm gonna get up here and get that started and show you guys. Now we can remove these vice grips. You can take a flathead and we'll pry the top end of the sway bar end link off the sway bar. So this lower bolt down here is a 13mm, so if you have a flex head ratchet, I highly recommend using it. It's a little bit of a tight spot, as you can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen up this 13mm, and this sway bar end link will be good to go for removal. Very tight fit. So like I stated earlier in the video, I'm just going to adjust the length of this adjustable sway bar end link to match the length of the factory sway bar end link. So as you can see, I have it lengthened up and I've tightened up the jam nut. And in this next part of the video, I'm going to show you how to actually adjust the length and tighten up the jam nut so it's locked in place and it will stay at that length. Okay, to adjust the length of your adjustable sway bar end link, take a 19mm and use it to loosen up this jam nut up here. As you can see, mine's already loosened up. And once you have that jam nut loosened, you can actually take the body and hold it in place and just spin this bushing end to get the desired length that you want. So let's pretend that's the desired length that we want. You just take this nut, you run all the way down, get it as tight as you can by hand, then take your 19mm and just torque down the jam nut, and you've locked in the length of your adjustable sway bar end link. So with our sway bar end link at the desired length that we want, we can go ahead and put these bushings inside, just like so. And now that we've done that, we can run our bolt through. So as you can see, I have the factory bolt ran through, and it's going to set in place just like the way it came off, just like so. So let's go ahead and get that bottom bolt started, since that one's going to be the most tricky one. Okay, so getting this thing rethreaded in is definitely going to test your patience. So I'm going to show you guys how I have my arm situated. So as you can see, I have my hand around and behind the link to get this bottom bolt started, and I had to do it, you can only do it with one hand, exactly the way my hand is positioned to grab that bolt and tighten it. So I was getting pretty frustrated. The top kept just flopping around, and every time it did, it would knock that lower bolt out. So as you can see, I left it loose. I just threaded the nut on a couple threads to hold this upright. So it helped me line up the bottom bolt so much easier. So right now I'm tightening it up, and I'm gonna tell you guys right now, it's pretty frustrating trying to get it started, but it's doable. You just gotta position your hand just like this. It's a tight space. But now that I have that ran up as much as I can by hand, I'm gonna show you guys. There's the 13. So I'm gonna take my little handy dandy flex ratcheting wrench and tighten that bad boy down. So as you can see, I have my 13 down here, and I'm tightening it up. Oh yeah. So the top nut's a 14mm, so I'm using yet another handy dandy flex head ratcheting wrench. And there we go. Fully installed. That is our new adjustable rear sway bar end link. So let's put our wheel back on and rinse and repeat with the other side, and that's it. They're installed. So we got the other side done. This wheel's nice and tight. Now we can lower down our floor jacks and enjoy our new adjustable sway bar end links. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.